Well, hello, looky there, it's Casino Cindy. Showed up to our fancy casino this morning to wager some money. So we need to get finished setting up here. So while we're doing that, I was gonna what I was gonna talk about this morning was part of the game of playing blackjack is not only what you're winning at the table and or losing, but it's getting perks. And what I found out is, as far as going to casino, there's not one that's real close to us. Probably, fortunately, if it was an hour or hour and a half away, we could just go there, play, come home. But the closest one to us is 3.5 hours away, and that's in Cherokee, North Carolina. So we have, I plan to go there, and I plan ahead some, because that's how I can get the best rates for the rooms, and I'll stay there, for 3 days, 3 nights, I should say. And so I'm not wore out. If you were just going to drive that 3.5 hours, gamble and come home, you're really at a disadvantage, because not only there's 8 hours worth of driving in a day, but then you throw some gambling in there, and it makes for a really long, tiring day. And to me, it's just puts too much pressure on you to play and win or whatever at a certain particular time when you're getting there, even though you might not be too lucky. So for us, going there and staying the 3 nights, it's overnight goes pretty quick, but you can do that. But the nice thing about it is that you use your reward cards when you're there, and that's our main casino. So when we go to a casino to gamble, it's that one, and we use the reward cards. What that gets for us is I can get comped rooms, complimentary, where it doesn't cost me anything to stay in the rooms, or sometimes it's just a discount, but it's that's really nice. It makes you feel welcome, where they're going to say, well, come on up, stay in a room on us, and enjoy your time here. And it's a resort.
Yeah, it's a real nice resort. It's in the Smoky Mountains, and it's fresh mountain air. They have obviously the rooms that you stay in, but they have a nice area outside, nice walking area, different, not really trails, because this concrete is, you're not walking in the middle of the woods, but they have beautiful plants and flowers set up for each season. And
they call it a signature garden, don't they? I think the CFO, the chief guy, he's proud of it. He's got his name on it, and they really make it nice. They have I think they have a lot of rhododendrons up there at certain time. They're there all year, but if you go during the right season, those things are in bloom, and they're amazing.
And when they're not in bloom, they have spring flowers. They have planters all around that they will pull plants and put new ones in. Pansies over the wintertime, because they can take the cold. It doesn't really get real cold there. Not like it does up in New York or Wisconsin. And so they change the flowers out for the seasons. And it's not just the hotel is there. It's attached to the casino. You don't have to go outside to get from the hotel to the casino or back. They also have a bunch of restaurants. They have some shops that we don't normally go into, but there's a golf shop, and there's a clothing store and jewelry store. And they
they have a nice river that runs right through the property, and it's great.
Right.
It's all landscape with these big river rocks. I mean, I don't think it happened naturally. Most of it did, the river and everything did, but they landscaped it up where it's really nice, looking, and you go outside and the ambiance, the sound of the river is just great, It's so relaxing, and people up there are so friendly, I haven't seen that in other casinos, especially somewhere like Las Vegas. I don't know why they're just not as friendly there, but in Cherokee, they're happy.
Well, Vegas has how many gambling hotels?
I don't know, but they used to have like 50,000 rooms.
Right.
So how many hotels does that take?
A lot, and they're all in competition, so you don't have to rely on your rewards card necessarily, but with that card you get discounts at the hotel, or discounts on the hotel rooms, like Kipp had just mentioned. He goes more than I do, and he will go in the middle of the week where you can get more comps for the rooms, and he can have nice time gambling, taking your time gambling instead of driving 4 hours, gambling, and then coming back.
And you were telling me earlier that when we go there and stay like that, you can go down in the morning if you feel like it, gamble for an hour or 15 minutes or 2 hours, come back up to the room, relax, and go have a meal. You can go down in the afternoon and come back to the room and relax, go down in the evening. So there's plenty of opportunities to find a good lucky seat where you don't have that when you're pressured if you drive 4 hours and have to play and then go home. Another thing you were saying about the room rates, I noticed at Cherokee, on the weekends, their rooms are $450, $500, and they don't, that's it. That's what they charge, and they get it. But when I was in Vegas, went through there, I got a hotel room. It was probably $75 a night. It was at Harrah's on the Strip, and that thing was deluxe. It was, it was just really nice. $75 a night. I mean, that's cheap. So that's what the competition of being in the big city does, is it keeps the room rates low. And that was on the weekend too. So it depends. You got to plan your trip or your trips. I traveled across the country a couple times, and when I did, I made plan. I mean, I can't drive from South Carolina to Washington State in one swoop. I have to stop and sleep, on the way. So what I did is I found casino hotels on the way that I could use as a waypoint, and I would plan my trip according to going to there for the night. And if it was a nice place, I'd stay for a couple nights, because if you just sleep and get up and go in the morning, you don't really have that opportunity to relax and plan your tables and all. But I mean, you can get online on their website, and you can delve deep into it. You can look at the rooms. For me, I like to have a comfortable place to sit when I'm in the room. A lot of them don't have that. I don't know why they don't have like a nice recliner. But you can see the pictures of the rooms, and you can say, well, looks comfortable for me. I'm not someone who lays on the bed and watches TV, and a lot of them are set up like that for someone who does that. I like to sit in a chair, have a table, and so if you go to the website and check out the rooms, you can see exactly what they look like and decide if it's the way, one that's going to be the way you like to have it set up.
And don't you also like to look Google Maps to see the area around just regular hotel or the casino hotel to see what else is around?
Yeah, I'll do that, because I'll take my time planning a trip like that, and I'll pick out a hotel, and then I'll so many times everything in the hotel is pretty expensive to eat and everything, which I don't mind paying it because you're at a resort. But if you go on Google Maps, you can see the whole aerial view of the hotel and where it's situated. So, important thing is to make sure it's right by the interstate that you're traveling on, so you can easily get on and off and get back to, your trip when you do leave. One of the hotels I was considering going to was, it was in New Mexico, and it was like 40 miles off the interstate. It looked like a pretty decent hotel, but I didn't want to add 80 miles because 40 one way, 40 the other way, you're spending 80 miles just to get to the hotel. And you search a little more and you find them right on the way, and maybe you can't find hotels, casino hotels for every stop, but you can find out a lot of information. You do your due diligence on the computer, on the internet, before you go, and you know what's coming up.
Another thing I was thinking about is we go as a couple times a year, and I'm not necessarily going to want to stay in the casino as much maybe as Kipp does, but there are other things to do around there. Obviously, we said that the casino, the hotel is really nice. It's a resort, has an exercise room, it has a pool, got the area outside. It has an indoor and outdoor pool. But also look to see what the town is offering. Like, I know there's a golf course there. I don't golf, but people don't go there and just stay in the hotel.
There's people that do come there just for that golf course.
Right.
Stay at the hotel and maybe do their gambling at night, but they'll go out and play golf during the day, and they have some high-level players that come there and play there. Sequoia National, I know, is there, and they probably have others. But it's in this particular casino's in the Smoky Mountains, so it's picturesque and pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And but another thing I wanted to mention about your reward card is that you can get the comp rooms, and you can get discount on the rooms, which, like I said, really makes you feel good that they say, come and stay on us. But you can get meals. They give you reward points when you use them cards, depending on what level of gambling you're doing and how long you play and different factors. And they're not a lot, for one trip. But the way, many times I go, I use it as a savings account, the reward points. And once or twice a year, when Cindy and I are there, we'll have a nice upscale meal in their fancy restaurant, and it's like free. Use the reward points, and it's complimentary. You pay for it with your reward points, but if you don't use the reward card, you don't even have them to begin with. And the other thing I found out they do is they will send us vouchers in the mail. About once a month, and depending on your gambling level and time you spend there, you can get $5, or I've had up to $40. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's something. It's a little bit extra, for you to play with, and it just gives you that more hospitality feeling. And another thing, if you use your rewards card, the dealers and the floor people, they know your name because it comes up on their screen. And when they say, well, good to see you, Kipp, or gosh, that was a good hand, Kipp, or Cindy, you did a great job on that. It just really makes you feel nice. And they don't do that at all casinos.
It's more of a vacation type setting than it would be just going to gamble.
Right. I kind of think of it as a holiday, but yeah, you can turn it into a vacation. It's a vacation if you're traveling across the country and hitting all the casinos.
Right.
And for people that are really in it, they could make a big circle or a zigzag around the country if they have the time and the money. Just go to these casino hotels and stay, gamble. You like blackjack, And we all know sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So, you could hopefully balance out at least, or even make some money on a trip like that. But for retired people that, I'm not a fisherman or a golfer, but I like to gamble. I like to play blackjack. So why not make that your thing?
Your destination.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we've had enough gabbledygook. Here's your $500. Whoop. Here's $500 worth of fake chips that are real. And good luck to you. I hope you have a wonderful time.